everyone. So I was just messing about online and I remembered that I used to have a Livejournal. If you don't know, livejournal.com used to be a very popular blogging site back in the day, back in the olden days of the internet. And it was there was a lot of fan fiction and different fanfic communities on there, so it's definitely why I had one. I did some blogging on it though. I was very, very inconsistent, but between the years of 2005 and 2012, this was where you could find bits and pieces of my life on the internet. Well, I decided, I haven't looked at that in a while. I forgot it existed. I signed on to my Livejournal because I still do remember my user information. And I started reading through the entries and then I found something. I wrote something on here and it came into my real life. Like my internet life and my real life collided, and it was super embarrassing and awful. And yes, so I thought I would read the entry out to you, tell you what happened, and use it as a sort of morality tale or like a warning on what not to do on the internet, which now everyone has so much experience doing things on the internet. We pretty much know how these things work. But just, this is a window into the past of 2006 when Aaron did not know how easy it was to find things on the internet. It's not even that bad, but it still was, at the time, I thought I was gonna die. Anyway, so let's get to this entry. This is from September 7th, 2006. I will say I'm gonna be changing the names. There's a few names in here I will be changing. A few of them are already changed, and that is has to do with the story. So here we go. The title is "And So It Begins." School started again today. It was really strange. I can't say what felt weird exactly, but it was just ... weird. I started off the day in French 1. What a way to start off my senior year in a class full of freshmen. It was cool though. I'm really looking forward to that class. It looks like it'll be pretty easy. ... At least compared with my... I can't talk. At least compared to my other classes. Second period was music listening and literature. I really didn't want to go because I hate the guy teaching it. It was actually really cool. Mr. M wasn't as bad as I thought he was going to be. The class is really informal too. He just calls it the history of rock, which reminds me of the movie School of Rock. Smiley face. The class felt like it was directly out of a movie. It was fun, the teacher was funny, and we didn't even have to raise our hand. People were just blurting stuff out and not getting into trouble. I learned some really cool music stuff too, and it's only the first day. Third period was Spanish 4. We really didn't do much. I'm excited that I have a class with Jamie and Karen though. Obviously I didn't change that name. But I had a huge crush on that girl, so that's why I was excited to have a class with her. I'm very glad that I have classes with them at all. Sadly, I don't have any classes with Victoria and Anne. This is so bad. I'm just gonna stop with the names, but I'm not because there's a thing. Fourth was AP English. I'm still freaking out about this class. I haven't really finished the summer assignment yet, and we're already supposed to be reading 2 other books for this class. There's absolutely no way I'll be able to keep up. Last, I had civics with Mr. X. He got married this summer. I was definitely surprised because I could have sworn that he was gay. It was even more surprising than when I found out that Mr. Y wasn't gay. I used to think that they were boyfriends, smiley face. But anyway, the class was pretty cool. We're seated in alphabetical order by first name, and we had to get to know the people around us by sharing our favorite book, movie, and band. I chose Serenity and Back to the Future, Harry Potter and Ender's Game / Shadow, and The Proclaimers. My partner chose Shaun of the Dead, Catcher in the Rye, and Dashboard Confessional. Yeah, ... What am I judging about them? Overall, it was a good day. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I love the first day of... I love the first day of school. You never really do anything. If only it would stay like this for the rest of the year. And my current mood was all right, and I was listening to my current music was Losing My Religion by REM. So there is the entry. Like I said, it's pretty mundane, pretty boring. You're probably kind of wondering what trouble could come from this. I didn't really talk shit on anyone or anything. So I will say that this entry is now private, and it was privated on November 14th, 2006, where I also wrote an entry. This is an entry from that day. I am so sorry about what happened. I just wanted you to know that it's been deleted, and that I promise that nothing like this will ever happen again. I don't know how much longer the link will show on Google, but I anticipate that it will be gone within the next 24 hours. Thank you for being so understanding and handling the situation so well. I promise that nothing like this will ever happen again. Again, I am so sorry, Aaron. Yeah, so here's what happened. I mentioned all my classes, that my whole schedule there. And I mentioned a few different names, but the names that matter here are names that have been changed for this video, and that was Mr. X and Mr. Y. Now, if you remember, I said that I had a civics class with Mr. X, and he had just gotten married, and I was surprised to find out he wasn't gay. And it was even more surprising than when I found out that Mr. Y wasn't gay. So Mr. X and Mr. Y, obviously not their real names, they were teachers who had been friends since they were, I think, middle school or high school, and they went, high school together, they were in college together, and they were both flamboyant, I guess, to different degrees, and I thought it would be cute if they were together, and so I kind of shipped them, and I never talked to anyone about this. The most I wrote about it online was this. But unfortunately, in this entry, with those few sentences that I wrote about, I used their real names. So, my journal entry, when Mr. Y decided to Google his name, my Livejournal entry came up, and Mr. Y saw it. And so he told Mr. X, and they asked each other what they should do. And first they needed to figure out who wrote this, because it wasn't bad. They weren't super angry, they just didn't want it to be what showed up with their name. So they needed to find out. So fortunately for them, I wrote out my entire class schedule. And there weren't many seniors who were taking freshman French 1. There's actually only 2 of us, so it was probably very easy for them to figure out that it was me. And yeah, so at that point, I was in Mr. X's class, but I had Mr. Y as a teacher for 2 years before. So it was my last class of the day. Mr. X said, "Oh, Mr. Y would like to see you." He had a free period, so he'd like to see you to talk about something. So of course I was kind of like, huh? It was like 10 minutes before the end of school. And I walked over there, and that's when I found out and was confronted by a teacher about this. And it is so embarrassing to think about. Still, like, I am, oh my God. 17-year-old me. This was not something she was expecting. Of course, there was tears from me, not from the teacher, because he was more like, please just get it off Google results. And I was just so embarrassed, and it's still super embarrassing to think about. I don't think I actually told anyone. I know I told some people that something had happened, but what I did was just I privated the entry and just didn't talk about it again. So that's what my message is for this video. What is it called? Like, it's not a morality tale. It's more like a warning? A tale of caution. There we go. So here's your tale of caution for from me, from my personal life to you. If you're going to write stuff about your real life on the internet, which I know is a thing that most people do now, but think about using some false names, especially if it's just a regular blog, something that you can find on Google. So yeah, there it is, my super embarrassing story. Oh my god, my cheeks hurt and everything is... It's hot in here now. Oh god. So, that's all for right now. I just thought I would share that horrifying story. I'll probably look through my Livejournal some more to see if I stumble across any other good memories, horrifying memories. Anyway, so if you like this video, please make sure to check out my last video, subscribe to my channel, click the like button down below. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram, blah, 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 and I'll see you guys later. Bye.